The first Emirati woman to take part in a Formula E test drive session, Amna Qubaisi has today broken gender stereotypes to showcase that a woman behind a wheel can be a powerful force to be reckoned with. Welcome to this chat with Khaleej Times, Amna.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So Amna, you were inspired by your dad Khalid Qubaisi to get into the racing field, and you also have a younger sister who is competing at in the racing field. So I wanted to ask you, how important is it for youngsters to have the right role models from a very young age?
I think, having parents as role models is also something that's very important, as they kind of pave the way for you and make it easier for you to reach that goal. But for me, I was into gymnastics, and I had, Shawn Johnson, the Olympian gymnastic world champion. I used to look up to her a lot. But then once I saw my father racing, and he was doing amazing, and he was being the best of the best, and he would travel and everything, and I always, follow up with him. So he was my biggest inspiration. So yeah, he really helped me a lot. And then my sister joined.
Yes.
And now she's also my inspiration. She's doing amazing.
Okay. And Amna, also, you have spoken about the pressures that come with being in the limelight, how competitive the field is, and especially a bit of negativity coming in from social media. So, how do you safeguard your mental health in between all this?
Usually, when people start talking on social media, I would really get that a lot. It would always get to my head, and I would be upset, and I would throw that on the track. So I would try to push past my limit and start doing mistakes and not listening to my engineers. So I started to recently erase my social medias on a race weekend, and I would be more focused. I would have my sister around. And that's when it kind of helped me, and I've improved a lot, and I've become more calm.
Because like we mentioned, you seem very serene and very calm when we watch you, but we know that on the field you're a totally different kind of a person.
Oh, yeah.
So that balance, is that very difficult for you to come by, or have you had to kind of coach yourself to reach this stage?
Yeah, I had to work on myself a lot. Like when I was on track, I had a lot of anger issues. When an incident happens, I would go and scream at the driver, or I would try to, pull up hands, to fight. I would scream at my engineers as well. But then I started to calm down. I was like, if I continue this, it would affect me also outside of racing. So I started to become more calm. If I'm mad, I would sit in the car alone. I wouldn't let anyone interact with me, and I would just be alone for a few minutes. And then I would come back, and then I would start talking. So
Amna, on August 28th, the UAE is celebrating Emirati Women's Day. And this year's theme is ambition and inspiration for the next 50 years, partly also because UAE has designated, I think, 2021 as the year of the 50th. As such, what is the message that you have for young girls who are hoping to follow in your track?
My message is to keep on persisting and do what you love. If it makes you happy, it shouldn't really matter what other people say or think about what you're doing. So I would just say persist on what you do that you love the most.
And also 2021 being the year of the 50th, if you could send out a message to yourself, because not many are aware that you're only 21. Okay, what's the kind of message that you would like to send your future self 50 years from now?
50 years from now, I would say, to believe in yourself, to not look for validation from anyone, to always validate yourself, and don't forget about the good things that you've done in the past and not to focus on the negative things.
Also, how has being part of a competitive field like racing changed your perception towards life off the field?
I started to meet my deadlines, actually. I've always been on time, sometimes even earlier. So I would always have that habit of being earlier or on time. I'd always meet my deadlines. I would always try to finish things off. Because, in racing, we always have timetables. At 9 a.m., you need to be at the track. 9:30, you need to talk to your engineers. So that kind of these schedules started to implant in me. So whenever I have something to do, I plan my day out like that exactly. So it made me more organized.
Okay. Amna, at 21, you're an inspiration not just for the community around you, but for a global audience as well. Because like we mentioned, social media gives you a far wider reach. So, as such, what do you think are the drawbacks of becoming a celebrity at such a young age, and how do you tackle that?
Honestly, I felt it actually spreads awareness. That's one good thing, it spreads awareness, spreads positivity, and I wouldn't say like I want to inspire. I would say I'd like to give hope, that we can do things. But the negative thing is, I can't do things as normal teenagers can do. That's really difficult for me, and I'm trying, to enjoy my life a bit without, posting it on social media. So to live my life as a normal 21-year-old.